We were updating some of the look of some of our creatures. The T-800 Endoskeleton is adapted a little bit, and they were so familiar with Arnold, which is a big part of it. He was the first fully body-scanned actor, I think, way back when they were doing it last time, so they still have that around. And just the use of prosthetics on him was always kind of flawless, and a lot of talk about how much can you damage Guardian, how much can you damage Arnold, you hang on to the humanity in this creature. They already had a vocabulary for that because they'd been through it before.
Wanted to introduce you guys to the T-800 Endoskeleton. This is one of 3 endos that we're going to have on the show, this being the hero. This one will be mostly for lighting for these actual CG walking characters, but every now and then I'm sure we'll get a shot off where we have an insert piece or something of that nature. So that's why we wanted to try to make them as articulated as possible. So if we had to, we could literally have them go in, do an insert shot of an arm coming in or something. We have nice bearings so we can have easy movement in the waist, and the head has a ball and socket joint so we can get all kind of movement out of this. This one's mostly epoxy and some urethane parts. Our stunt one over here, which the guys are hard at work on, has to be a little more pliable. This one's foam. It's a 280 foam. It still has the aluminum armature, so we still get the same articulation out of all the joints. It just doesn't have the rigidity of the Hero one. So if it falls out of the truck, which it's going to do in the film, it's not going to shatter.
Then we're doing an old 1984 Arnold Re-Creation of him.
This was all sculpted traditionally the same way in clay, the whole body. It took me about 4 weeks to do. I got as much reference of Arnold as I could, and I sculpted it over a scan of Arnold from, I think, 2002, 2003. So he was in his 50s, so I took that, which gave me all the proportions of Arnold. And then from photo reference, I had to go back in and bulk him back up as he was in 1983. After, I think, he had just finished his last Mr. Olympian, so he was pretty buff at that point. So
what's going on right now is we need to make a stunt mask that looks like Arnold. So we scanned Arnold some time ago, we've cleaned up that scan, and now we've prepped the geometry to be 3D printed.
So here we have a map to what the makeup is eventually going to be like. There's 5 different stages to the Arnold makeup. In each new stage, there's anywhere between 3 and 6 new appliances added. So he starts out with the basic Arnold Guardian, then he'll get a couple of new scars. Then we go to phase B, new scars being added. Stage C, looks like there's 9 more scars being added, all the way up to the point where he becomes the really disfigured Terminator.
When I look back to what we did back then with a small group of people, it's a classic film, but technically you keep getting better and the bar keeps getting raised, and so the standards keep going up, and it's very photoreal now, the way the appliances are being done. And then what's genius about it now, what we couldn't do back then, was the blending of the CG with the prosthetics. With prosthetic appliances, you can only build up onto the skin, you can't take away. So what's fantastic, and we did this actually back on T3 for the first time, was, removing from the actor, which you can do, utilizing the combination of CG and the appliances. So it's, bringing to bear all the state-of-the-art tricks of the trade to, make this movie really special.